Namaste. This video is about the concept of twin flames joining each other, and does black magic prevent them from being together? Yes, it does. Because twin flame ascension is a spiritual journey and it causes a lot of changes in values and beliefs also. And on the process of enlightenment, you definitely meet black magic, witches, sorcerers, evil forces, everything which is paradoxical to rationality, you would meet on the process of enlightenment as you go on to becoming one with God, becoming one with the consciousness of God. So you will understand reality at a level of metaphysical senses, and a lot of this reality might appear as hallucinations for the normal people, but if you are on the process of enlightenment or on the process of salvation, you will realize that forces which are not visible to the human eye definitely do exist. If you're always looking for evidence, you cannot believe in God, you cannot believe in even the Wi-Fi, the internet, because you can't see it. So everything that you cannot see, and you say, I don't believe in it because I cannot see it. What is the evidence? So why do you believe in God, and why do you believe in uh, sunlight, and why do you believe in the Wi-Fi? And there is so much that we cannot see, and yet it exists. So when you decide that you do not want to believe on something based on lack of evidence, you have to realize that it is something which is contradictory with your belief systems, and that is why you are rejecting that concept as hallucination. Now, hallucination is a part of madness or schizophrenia, but in that case it is destructive. So there is a difference between destructive hallucination and faith. Now, faith is not hallucination, or psychic ability to read someone's mind is not hallucination. Telepathy is not hallucination. Sainthood is not a hallucination. Believing in a religion blindly is not hallucination. It's only when the hallucination makes you attack another person, or if it makes you destructive to yourself or to others, like suicidal or homicidal, that is when the hallucination is categorized in disease like psychosis or schizophrenia. And these diseases are typically accompanied by destructive behaviors or self-harming behaviors. So if there is no self-harming behavior and there is no destructive behavior, you cannot call it a hallucination. So you cannot call a twin flame experience a hallucination, because there is often there is a lot of twin flame experience going on these days, and it is a lot one-sided. It is as if one person is feeling more, one person is writing more, one person is saying more, and the other person is taking the energy and maybe not realizing uh, the need to connect, or there are a lot of belief systems which are blocking the connection, or there is black magic which is blocking the connection. There are doubts in between, and if you cannot overcome doubts on each other, obviously you cannot meet each other, because it is an extremely sensitive issue meeting a twin flame, and you will meet yourself in another body, and the places which hurt will be the same. So you can say things which can hurt the other very deeply simply because you are a twin flame, and you may not be aware of it. Also, you can love each other very, very deeply simply because you are twin flames, and you know where to connect to each other physically. So there is a lot more contentment in a twin flame relationship than in a normal relationship, but there can be a lot of arguments. Not every twin flame relationship is meant to be completed in one lifetime. It is a process of ascension. If your circumstances do not allow the twin flame relationship to be completed, or if it is such that it can only be in the air, that you can feel the other person in the air but not in real, then it is a process of ascension where you start communicating to spirits in the air in a positive manner without it being destructive. So these twin flames are alive. They are not actually ghosts, but there can be ghosts also of the same twin flame who is alive from a past life, and the ghost can be affecting you as well. If you have he has been your lover in a past life, it can be the ghost affecting you and pulling you to the actual real person who is the twin flame. So twin flame union does bring in a lot of contradictions, a lot of questions. um, the concept of love helps you survive on earth, because survival on earth otherwise gets very very monotonic as you age, and very very boring. So if it becomes boring, your soul will not want to live on earth. The soul will want creativity with love, with passion. And for that, the twin flame union helps significantly, but you have to trust each other, and there will be forces who will try to separate you. And so you should understand that all the anger that you're feeling towards the twin flame may not be actually there. It's simply the spirits putting thoughts inside your head and making you angry with the twin flame, when that actually the misunderstanding does not exist. Simply for their own selfish purposes, or their revenge from past lives, or preventing your ascension, so that you stay down with your soulmates and you don't go higher. So happiness is a journey which will get blocks from dark forces and black magic and irrational forces, because happiness by itself is not a very rational phenomena. Each person's happiness is different, and a consumer a surfeit of consumer items does not mean happiness for each and every person, whereas success can be more clearly defined, like this is success, and getting good marks is success, or being rich is success, or getting famous is success. But happiness is not the same. Happiness would be like, some people would like love being happy in the hills, other would love being happy near the ocean, some people would be happy in their own houses, they may not like to travel at all. So you cannot define happiness. Everyone has their own space. Some people like to talk a lot, some people are introverts, they like to be in their own space. So happiness is not a very rational phenomena. It depends on individual, person to person, and therefore twin flame is also not a very rational phenomena, because it's purely based on happiness. So as we evolve to a higher age, a lot of magic will come to reveal itself. Unlike in earlier dark ages when it was black magic, now a lot of white magic, and magic will start making sense. You will be able to identify cause and effect on what caused the magic. I mean, magic actually is cause and effect, but if you don't focus on telepathy or psychic visions or clairvoyance, or reading faces, or reading texts, you may not know that this is cause and effect. So you have to trust the invisible senses to understand a twin flame experience. If you do not trust your invisible senses, you will not be able to manifest a twin flame experience most of the times. And even if you can manifest a twin flame experience, if circumstances are in your favor, it's always because you have to do some work of the world which cannot be done unless you're together. So a twin flame experience always leads to some karmic clearance for the soul, so that the soul can reach to a higher dimension, a higher realm, in a way in which it is spiritually evolved. So a twin flame experience again calls for a spiritual experience, spiritual awakening. Otherwise it does not manifest, because unless you understand the spirit, your inside self, your soul self, you will not be able to connect or understand to your twin soul. So it is a complicated experience. It is a high promise of happiness, but that high promise of happiness comes with a lot of work, a lot of mental work, and past life therapy sessions definitely help in twin flame experiences, because they show you where you have lived with the twin flame in earlier lives and help you heal those lifetimes, so that your present life feels better. But the end climax of a twin flame experience does not necessarily mean marriage. It may mean marriage in several cases, but it can also mean a business partnership. It can mean emotional partnership also, where you support each other. So idea of twin flames is that you actually support each other more at an emotional level, which you don't get normally. I mean, you can get a lot of physical support even in a marriage on earth right now, but you don't get emotional support. So the idea of a twin flame experience is emotional support and being there for each other, and sexual compatibility. Of course, most of the time there is sexual compatibility in twin flames, so that you feel loved and desired by the other, and that you want to live for the other person. That happens so that you feel more peaceful and more harmonious in your own self. And families, definitely there are people in the families who are against the relationship, but that is what you have to overrule when you trust each other actually. And you have to discard the opinions of other family members, so that you can support your twin flame. That is when it manifests and leads to a higher degree of love and happiness in your life. Thank you.